Dorian is now skirting the Florida coastline, heading toward the Carolinas.
And she was standing on top of the kitchen cabinets until they disintegrated. And then I kept with her, and she just drowned on me.
Right now, thousands of troops and volunteers heading to the hardest hit areas.
Give them a hand. They need a big hand. And what's going on over there is incredible.
Tonight, officials warning people to get out while they still can.
Don't try to ride it out. It's not worth putting your life at risk or endangering first responders who might have to save you.
Eyewitness News on Fox 11 starts right now.
And right now here at 10, this is a live look at St. Augustine, Florida. You can't see much out there right now, but many states in the southeast are preparing for Dorian. A little dark, but you can make out the waves from the storm surge crashing ashore there.
Dorian is slowly pushing its way northward off the Florida coast. The storm has weakened, but heavy wind and storm surges could affect the coastlines of Georgia and the Carolinas. People in 4 states have been advised to seek higher ground.
Dorian is already causing flooding and power outages in some states, but federal assistance is on the way. Even if the storm stays offshore, Dorian's outer bands are powerful enough to cause serious damage.
And we do have team coverage of Dorian. Chief Meteorologist Doug Harlow tracking that storm from our weather center. Jesse Starkey is at Yeager Airport, where some local pilots are preparing for relief efforts. But first, we start with Sinclair correspondent Brad Bell. He's in Savannah, Georgia this evening.
All right, now just to give you an idea of how this storm has really affected the Bahamas, this is a satellite image of before the storm hit. But whenever I pull this over, you can see now just how much of this island is actually underwater. These yellow lines here represent where land actually used to be, but is now just entirely submerged. And you can track Hurricane Dorian with our hurricane tracker on our weather app. You can download our WCHS Storm Team weather app from your app store. Terrifying scenes in Ohio as tornadoes sweep across the state, leaving whole towns in their wake. And we have continuing coverage of the aftermath. This is a look at the damage left behind by a tornado that touched down in the Circleville area just south of Columbus. The National Weather Service also confirming a tornado touchdown near the Pickaway and Hocking County border. People in that area tell us the initial cell phone warning came through about 3 minutes before that tornado actually hit. And now, even before the cleanup, the assessment begins with people spending the day taking inventory and trying to comprehend the destruction the storm left behind.
Probably the hardest hit area was just north of Dayton. Our Kaylee Gunderson is in Dayton, helping our affiliates cover the massive storm damage and the aftermath, and brings us this special report tonight.
Several homes in this neighborhood are missing an entire story, roofs blown away, but they tell me the most important thing is their lives, and that's what they're lucky to have today.
And it was a messy and dreary evening, sometimes dangerous in places as rain, hail, and high wind hit the region. This is video sent to us from a viewer in Pinch, where you can see hail piling up. Those little ice pellets did cause some damage to homes and businesses in that area, and that's just some of what we saw. Other places were experiencing things like flooding and downed trees from the heavy rain.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Doug Harlow starts our team coverage with whether or not we're going to see some more of these storms this weekend.
If we do, they're going to be a lot smaller, a lot more isolated, and not nearly as strong. So the answer is no. Overall, it's going to be a much drier weekend, although it's going to get hot. But yes, it was a very active Friday. Both early in the day, we got a break midday with the sunshine, which heated up the atmosphere and set the stage for round 2. And we were talking about there was the possibility of all these different threats: hail, quarter size, penny size, very large in some spots, high winds, flash flooding in some locations. And even tornado. It was a small risk, but believe it or not, there was a tornado warning just east of our area over Randolph County. Not sure whether one actually touched down, but radar was indicating a twisting storm over there earlier this evening. The severe weather threat, though, has ended now. Things have calmed down for the most part. There's still a couple rumbles of thunder. If you're down in Chapmanville, you're probably hearing some rumbles right now. There's one little downpour crossing just south of Chapmanville near Mitchell Heights, north of Logan. That's moving on off to the east, but most of the rain has tapered off now. There's another round of some showers coming down from Columbus and I-70, so that'll graze Route 50 here during the overnight hours, but that's not severe. Those showers will be gone by dawn. We'll start off with some fog, though, in spots, so watch out for that. It could be locally dense at 63 degrees. Once that burns off, though, here comes the heat. Sunshine gets us to about 81 by lunchtime tomorrow, and we're going to a high near 90 degrees in the afternoon. And it's still going to be muggy, but not muggy enough to set off a whole lot of storms. If there is one, literally, there might be one or two here or there, but most of us are going to be dry on a Saturday. But we talked about all those different kinds of storm threats that we had here for today. We start off our team coverage with Kaylee Gunderson in St. Albans with wind damage out there. Kaylee?
We are following breaking news right now at 11 on what is usually a fun and exciting night of high school football, but tonight a scary moment on the field in Clay County. Clay County was hosting Roane County when a player from Roane collapsed right there on the field. An ambulance was called in and he was brought to a hospital here in Charleston. Right now we do not know who that player is or how he is doing tonight, but as you can see from this viewer picture, both teams, cheerleaders, even the referees gathered there on the field for a moment of prayer for that player. They did suspend this game tonight and they will pick it up again tomorrow night. We'll update you overnight on WCHSTV.com as soon as we learn more.
And more breaking news tonight. Several fire departments in Pike County, Kentucky fighting a huge fire at a well-known landmark. This is viewer video sent in to us of the Loftus Mansion, which is on fire right now. This is on the hillside right above the Southside Mall in South Williamson, Kentucky. The once luxurious home had been empty for years and was undergoing an extensive renovation. Right now, no word on how that fire started.